We put the balloons together, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, should we add this? And then that added a ton. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna add this beautiful like color to it.
Yeah, let's add some little gold strips to it. Like, well, why not? We added the first line, and then we're like, what if we just do 2 lines? And it looks super cool. Can we just dance instead?
3, 2, 1.
Well, hey everyone, thanks for being here. I have Leticia from Agape Balloons and Events again, and another beautiful backdrop designed by her. And we're just gonna talk a little bit about this backdrop and how Leticia comes up with these designs. So Leticia, what does it look like when someone calls you up and they say, hey, I'm looking to have an event. Here are some of the things I want. Like, what are the next steps after an inquiry with you?
I basically sit down, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't necessarily know what I'm doing until I start putting things on a paper. I start drawing things out, sketching. It's like a whole creative feel. Like even this, we didn't necessarily know what we were doing until we started putting things together. And then you were like, let's put flowers in it and let's do this because we love those textures and those creative aspects. And so like we kind of just started putting things together and they're like, what if we do this? What if we do that? And that's basically what I do within my creative process. I just sit there. And sometimes even for some of the events we did together, I was like, what do you think about this? Like, what do you think? Because an outside view for me is really important because sometimes I can keep doing the same old thing and it's not necessarily like creative. I'm like, I just took the same color scheme and the same backdrop I just changed the colors. And
but to that defense, like everything she does is so amazing that if I was a mom looking to throw a huge birthday party for my kid and I found your Instagram, and I loved a party, I'd be like, hey, can you please give me that Barbie birthday party? And you'd be like, well, I've done like 5 now. And
I would never shy away from doing something like that. But when a client comes up to me and wants something custom and wants something creative, they're like, because a lot of the times they do come up to like, hey, I love this backdrop with these balloons. Can we just do a different color? And I was like, sure. Like I literally just booked a couple parties like that this weekend. And I don't think that's ever gonna change because sometimes people love what they see. And as soon as we created it, they're like, oh, I want the same thing. And I'm like, okay, well, what if we do it slightly different? You know, what if we change this color and add something here, just so I can get also a different element in there as well. Because it helps with my marketing and creative process as well. If I'm like rethinking how I see the same standard backdrop, which I love standard backdrops. I think that's definitely like in regards to, you know, money makers, those are money makers for us. You know, they're we create one, I don't have to think about creating that same one over and over and over again. It's there, we just change up the colors. But my custom is my favorite. And my husband's always like, why don't you just, you know, not do all this custom crazy stuff? You know, you could really help your bottom line, honey. And I was like, yeah, but I love it. I was like, I love creating. I'm like, let's do something like no one's done yet, at least here in Michigan, or at least somewhere else. Like, what if we can come up with something that can kind of just expand the world just a little bit more here in our areas. I mean, like show people, I don't know, I feel like it's the past couple of years, balloons have blown up everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think without that.
But what you do is like genuine balloon art. Like I really do see you as a balloon artist. And what that means is that like you take a thing and then you make it unique and you do make it custom. And I'm sure that no event looks exactly the same for that reason. You're always gonna put your own twist on it. And like you mentioned, you know, we put the balloons together and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, should we add this? And then that added a ton. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna add this beautiful like color to it.
Yeah, let's add some little gold strips to it. Like, well, why not? We added the first line and then we're like, what if we just do 2 lines? And it looks super cool.
Like right before we started, it's like, should we add this vintage chair? Like, and then we were talking about Lindsay from Vibrant Vintage Rentals and like how much fun this would be at like a baby shower or a bradle shower or like any big event, you name it. Like a backyard soiree. I don't know, like a garden party. I could just keep going on. Like,
I once had an inquiry just for a ladies' party. Like, she just grabbed all her friends and did like a girls' day. And I'm like, wouldn't this be so much fun if you're able to like, you know, whenever we do some girls' days, we're always like, okay, yeah, we'll just go to a restaurant, and then we have a couple hours eating, and then we go. Like, wouldn't it be fun to have like an experience out of it? You know, like we don't get that often anymore. And I feel like, what if we just put something together? Like we can all chip in a little bit and just like, let's have a girls' day.
Yeah.
And let's decorate it so we can take pictures and have fun. You know, like I think adding this in here is like a perfect example of like how we can mix different styles. Like, you know, we've got like very chic, eclectic looks right here, like with the gold strips. And then we have some like florals going on, very whimsical.
Yeah, fairy.
Yeah, very fairy.
If you want something more simple, just very like, I don't know, it's loud and simple at the same time.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like you'll see all sorts of backdrops as we like continue to do things, and you know, some will be beautiful and elegant and coastal, and some will be fun, and you know, why not add, you know, red or pink or like hot pink? You know, it doesn't always have to be Barbie. It can, but it doesn't. And I think this next year is the year of Barbie comes to town because of the new Barbie movie coming out. And I'm just so excited because I'm hoping, because I have a Barbie box, we can go in there and we can be Barbies. And so I think that's gonna come out this year. And I'm so excited that all these colors are like, they're just, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be a colorful year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it.
And like one thing I'm gonna add is that, you know, my dad, he grew up in a house that didn't have very much money, and he kind of had like a harder childhood. And so my mom always jokes that my dad's like an adult child, like a man child. And it's because like my dad has worked so hard to start his own business and to take care of others. And now that he has the money to, he's like always buying his adult toys. And it's like, I just imagine too, like how, especially, you know, you don't need to stop having fun and doing things like this. You know, it doesn't need to be a child's birthday party. Like, you can do this for your birthday party. Like, it's never too late to begin like celebrating and adding joy to your life.
Absolutely.
And you don't need to do it just for your children. Like, you can do it for yourself. And I don't know, it's just so much fun.
If we were to go ahead and take this backdrop and make it like, you know, be put in the chair, like this for me is like a super outgoing baby shower. You know, like I can see something fun during the summer, you know, when so like spring or summer, like we come out and you're like, you know, here you go, mommy to be, and you're sitting here and you're just like taking pictures with your girls and you're just having so much fun, and your centerpieces are also like these fun colors, you know, and you're laying out, maybe you have wood tables and like kind of bring out more of that boho vibe, or you do like an awesome picnic, like,
oh,
you
I
know?
love picnics.
Yeah, it's like a beautiful luxury picnic right in front of this. Like, just imagine it.
Yeah.
I think it'll just be so much fun.
Now I'm thinking about how many people I know who they almost get like a post-wedding depression. And so you spend like 1 to 2 years of your life fantasizing about all of your wedding shower and like, you know, your bachelorette party and all of these like big reasons to celebrate and party. And then especially if you're like, well, I know I don't want kids for years, then it's like, so now what? That's what people really hit that. Like, now what? It's like, now what? Throw a garden party.
A garden party is so much fun.
Yeah, have like a big backyard party. Yeah, have a birthday party. Like, you're never too old.
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I always loved about my mom. My mom's always one for a party. And so like, you know, she's like, you know, it's so hard to surprise her, but I did do it one year. And every year it's just kind of like, you know, she wants a party or she wants something fun.
Yeah.
You know, and why not? Like, why can't we celebrate each other?
Right.
You know?
So this is your message. If you've watched this video and you're like in love with big, fun, exciting backdrops, decorations, you name it, Leticia's your girl. We're here for your photo booth needs and your photography. But yeah, please reach out because like, again, you're never too old to celebrate and party, and everyone deserves this.
I would even go farther and say, I dare you for 2023 to go big and celebrate yourself. Say, I dare you.
Yeah.
For 2023 to just celebrate yourself.
What a challenge. Hugs. Thanks.